What's up, YouTube? How are all my YouTube scrollers doing tonight? I guess it's morning. It's about 2:30 in the morning. So anyway, I thought I might put some perspective, or basically my opinion, on what's going on with the quality of new vehicles being produced today, or the last couple years, actually, because I've actually been involved in the automotive manufacturing side of things for quite a while. So basically it's really simple: quantity over quality. And as much as manufacturers preach to their employees about quality, as much as the suppliers who make the parts for the manufacturers, they preach about quality too. But what you need to understand is life's a lot different out on that factory floor for the grunt out there running those lines or making those parts, or because out on the floor it's how much are you making, how much are you producing. You've got to hit these numbers. You got to get numbers. Come on. So I think that's part of it, especially on the supplier end, because 9 times out of 10, these suppliers that supply parts for the manufacturers, they are typically a lot smaller than the car manufacturer that they're making parts for. Their building is smaller. They don't have line capacity, and that was especially true for the supplier that I worked for. Now, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name the manufacturers that I worked at, or suppliers that I worked at, just like I'm not going to name my current employer. Because honestly, I don't know how any of them would feel about me making a video talking about this. And it's probably no big secret. It's just, I've seen a lot of videos, and I've seen a lot on social media, people fed up with the quality of new vehicles, and especially for the price that you're paying for a new vehicle. You have every right to expect a quality product, and here lately, the last few years, none of the automotive manufacturers have been safe from having to do recalls or having to have things checked out, taken back into the dealer and looked at. Even the Asian brands, even they're susceptible. And something else that maybe people don't realize is these employees at these companies, some of them are working 6 and 7 days a week for months at a time. Because I am one of those people. The supplier that I worked for, they had to run 7 days a week in order to produce what needed to be produced, what needed to be made, because they didn't just make for one automotive manufacturer, they made for several automotive manufacturers. So you obviously had burned out employees, people who just were working too much, sometimes being forced to go in and work 12-hour shifts. And all of this was mandatory. There was no voluntary. Because if you're working 7 days a week, are you honestly going to volunteer to go in and work even more? So people were tired, they were run down, they were burnt out. Attendance was an issue. Absenteeism was an issue. A higher than normal turnover rate, that was an issue. So you have this influx of new people coming in that had no experience doing these jobs and checking the quality of what they were making. So, as you can imagine, after a while, this eventually catches up with everybody, and I think the results of that is being seen in the marketplace, and we, the consumers, are left holding the bag sometimes because vehicles can have issues after the warranty is over, and it can be a direct result of just something that wasn't produced or manufactured properly. That could take a few years and cause problems for the consumer, for the owner, and they have no recourse. That's money out of their pocket. And seeing how a lot of auto loans nowadays are going for 7 years, used to be 5 years was the normal auto loan. Now 7 is the normal auto loan because prices have went up so much. People can't afford to make the monthly payment on a 5-year loan. But just keep in mind, this is only my opinion, but it's an opinion of something that I've lived and currently do live as well, even though I've moved on from that automotive supplier side of things, and I now actually work for an automotive manufacturer. The same still holds true. Some automotive manufacturers, they have departments that, in order to meet the demand that they need, they have to work 7 days a week. And that does still happen to me from time to time. Well, actually, it's kind of slowed down the last few weeks, but it could always pick back up, and I could be working 7 days a week again. There's no guarantee that won't happen. So keep that in mind. That's another side of the automotive industry, is the manufacturers, they do not make all the parts and pieces that go into their cars and trucks. They have suppliers that do so, and you never know just exactly what's going on with the people that are building the parts for your car or your truck, and their life and schedule that they might have to work. And there's always the push, more. That mentality is just ingrained in manufacturing, period. It doesn't matter what you're manufacturing. There's always a push to produce more, to make more. There's a fear that someone might show up to buy something and it's not available for them to buy because you weren't able to put out enough parts or pieces. So it's just food for thought. That's my opinion. You can take it for what it's worth. But I appreciate stopping by the channel. I would like, if you could, to hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Till next time, take care.